Right, so this is a first week review of the XFL. Kind of some predictions I want to throw out, and just some of my thoughts on some of the games that I watched. I did get to see a few. Some others I kind of just glimpsed, and I had some other stuff going on, so I didn't really get a chance to see everything. But thought I would just kind of give my opinion and go from there. So I think the first game that I did watch was the Houston Roughnecks versus the Wildcats. You guys probably know from watching this channel, I'm a Titans fan. I really like the Roughnecks in this league just simply because they have that Oilers logo with the H on it. So I decided that when the league started that I was going to be a Roughnecks fan because it's kind of a throwback team for the Oilers. And I was really impressed. So they played the Wildcats, if I remember correctly, in the first game that I watched, and it was a pretty good game. It was pretty even for a while until PJ Walker started kind of going off. And the Roughnecks, in my opinion, they're definitely the best team in the XFL West. They're arguably the best team in the XFL. Offensive wise, I would say yes, they're the best team in the XFL. They definitely scored the most points. But also there's some teams that were very impressive to me, and I don't know if I can say they're the best team. They're definitely contending, and I do feel like the Roughnecks, after just seeing how they went against the Wildcats, will probably end up going to the XFL championship game. I do feel like the XFL West is probably the harder division to be in, simply because the division itself seems a little bit more balanced. I feel like all the teams in the division are a little bit equalized, where I feel like the East Division is not so much. But let's talk a little bit more. So first game, Wildcats, Roughnecks. Roughnecks came out on top, and it was very impressive. It was a good game, and until like the second half, the Roughnecks kind of started pulling away from the Wildcats. Not taking anything away from the Wildcats. In my opinion, they did an okay job. It was just, I felt like the Roughnecks were just a little bit of a better team. Next game that I remember seeing at least was the Guardians versus the Vipers, and wow. So the Viper, you know what? I felt kind of bad. Tampa Bay can't catch a break. Florida can't catch a break in the NFL, and I can't catch a break in the XFL apparently, because in the XFL, the Vipers, they're kind of like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had the most yards. I think they had they had a lot of like firsts, but they were like the worst as far as turning over the ball and basically just giving up points. It was a nightmare. I really feel bad because I would hate to have picked the Vipers and be like, yeah, let's go, and then just watch that game and I'm just like, damn it. Like it's like watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all over again. They're just giving the ball away every five seconds. Now I don't know if the Guardians have the best defense in the league. Right now it kind of looks like they do. But it could just be that the Vipers suck that bad, and the Guardians were just taking the ball away from them. The defense was stopping them. They would get down into the red zone, and they couldn't do anything in the red zone. They were getting stopped every single time. They just couldn't score points. And I don't know if that's just because they suck or if the Guardians are just that good. If the Guardians are that good, then I see a lot of teams having trouble with them. And I feel like they're going to probably go to the championship game. Right now, I'm going to say Houston Roughnecks versus New York Guardians in the XFL championship. That's an early prediction. But that was my impression. I just feel like the Vipers are just the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of this league. They just give up points. They can't score when they need to, and they're just victims of turnovers. Okay, because I think they had double the yardage of the Guardians, and the Guardians still beat the crap out of them. But yeah, that was it. That was my interpretation of that. Moving on to the next game was Seattle Dragons versus the DC Defenders. Defenders, man, wow. This is a good game. These are, I feel like these teams are pretty equal. The Defenders just were that much better. They had a lot of good plays. But at the end of the day, I feel like maybe these two teams are probably the second best teams in their divisions. I wasn't really super impressed by the Battlehawks, but definitely feel like DC Defenders would arguably be, if not for the Guardians, maybe kind of be on that fringe where they're the second best team in the division, right behind the Guardians. But they're pretty close, and they could probably give them a run for their money. Dragons can say the same thing. Definitely second best team in the West, in my opinion, at least. And this was a good game. Pretty straightforward. Almost it was pretty equal up until the very end. But yeah, this was a pretty straightforward game. I don't think that they'll go all the way. But I feel like these two teams are going to be your next best bet if the Guardians or Roughnecks can't make it happen. Renegades versus Battlehawks. This is an okay game. It's a low scoring game. Probably the most boring of all the games, to be honest with you. It was just a slugfest, really. I expected more out of Dallas, to be honest, and I kind of wanted to be a Dallas fan when I first heard about the league because I saw their jerseys and I was like, oh, these are just like the Titans blue. I got a lot of flack from people. They're like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan. I'm like, no, what? No, never mind. I don't want to be a Dallas fan anymore. But yeah, man, it was a good game. I don't really see. I feel like these two teams were just average. Battlehawks, Renegades, probably your average teams in your division. If there ever is an expansion, I feel like these are like the Dallas Cowboys and I don't know, what's another average team? The Lions or something. Like a team that's like, all right, but they're not the worst, but they're definitely not even close to the best, like in the middle. I feel like these are the teams. Overall, great opening weekends. I was really impressed with a lot of the games. They were entertaining to watch, and it was definitely a difference from watching, when XFL first came out. It was definitely a huge difference from watching then because you could tell it was more of a structured league. The league itself has a better rule. Like a lot of the rules are really great. I love the kickoff rule. People aren't getting killed on kickoffs. You don't have to have all these collisions. And, I love the extra point rule. The extra point rule is awesome. Because there were people getting 9 points and missing attempts and stuff, and the game's just a little bit more on edge. You don't know if your team's going to be able to tie it up. One team can get a touchdown, get the extra point, and another team could try, and they miss because their guy doesn't get in, and now you got a 6-7 kind of situation. But the next time around they can get 9, and you don't really know what's going to happen. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with the double forward pass. I still want to see something cool like that happen. But yeah, man, XFL's it's for real. It's definitely better than any other secondary league that I've seen recently. Wink, wink. So yeah, I mean, Phil, if you haven't watched it, give it a shot. It's definitely worth the watch. I will say that. And I can't wait for this next week, man. I'll go Roughnecks. Let's beat those Battlehawks, right? And so, hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video with your friends. More subscribers. The more subscribers I get, the more inclined I'll be to make more videos. I do want to make some more mock off-season videos for the NFL. I just put out a Patriots one. If you guys want more, throw your teams in. Let me know who you want. I'll do my best to produce that. Let me know what other kind of content you want. Maybe some basketball, baseball content. Baseball season is coming up. I do want to talk a little bit more about that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.